Hey guys, I'm Geoff Fienberg here for oddschecker.com/US, and it is our final NFL regular season video of the season, because I was going to say 2020, but as I sit here recording it, it is very early on in 2021. Happy New Year, everybody. Hope you had a safe and happy one. All the best to you and yours in the coming year specifically. Remember, we are more blessed than we are burdened. I mean that. Well, I speak for myself, but I think I'm speaking for all of you. Things have been weird, but we got to just think of the blessings. The blessings, they made it through the NFL regular season. Here we are. I can't believe we didn't get either the week 18 that they spoke about, or not one game that was missed despite some craziness. Low point, probably, I guess, that Titans stuff and Denver having to play without a quarterback probably feels like a low point in the COVID specter of the season. Like, sub, comment, appreciate all the support you guys have given me throughout the years, and I'm expecting to be joining you again next week with the return of some golf picks. So maybe we can make some profits. Quarterback, not overthinking this one. It's pretty easy. It's Deshaun Watson. Incredible season. Some early season scares as a fantasy owner in those early Bill O'Brien weeks, but the second he was gone, they figured it all out. Watson has had an incredible season. The big knock on him was that his production would drop off with the Fuller suspension, and it kind of did. It didn't really drop off, but we're getting that one touchdown passing a game for those first couple non-Fuller weeks was a bit concerning, but he's blown by that. He has blown by that, and this week he plays the Titans, who, while are a good, sound football team, clearly have a deficiency, and that certainly is against the secondary against the pass. They are the fifth worst team in terms of giving up fantasy points to quarterbacks this year. They have been picked on by pretty much every elite quarterback throughout the second half of the season. 5 of Watson's last 6 games, he's gone over 300-yard passing. He also has no fewer than 5 rush attempts since week 5. That floor is built in. We're going to the wall with Watson. It's tough. I don't really expect any of those AFC teams battling really to lose this week, but if I had to pick one, it's the one playing Deshaun Watson. So I think the Titans could be in for a little bit of trouble, although I would probably be shocked if they ended up losing that game altogether. Aaron Rodgers, yep, there's nothing. What can I tell you? There's nothing to say. It's Aaron Rodgers. He's been absolutely amazing. He's the MVP this year. I tweeted about it. For him to win this MVP, in my opinion, when I consider the organization didn't support him fully, and I don't just mean in terms of draft capital, I just mean every fiber of that organization never seems to be totally behind Aaron, and the stuff he does is incredible despite that. Yes, great running back. Yes, great wide receiver, but Aaron makes everything happen there. Oh, yeah, you want to know why I like him this week? Well, he's Aaron Rodgers, guys, and I think we're getting him at a discounted price. $7,400 in DraftKings, $8,500 in FanDuel. Makes me like him even more. Devontae Adams and him have been on an absolute tear. Nothing they do is wrong. They got to win this game for the first seed. Rodgers is throwing in goal line situations weekly. The MVP case that I just made, that he'll probably want to put a nail in that coffin. Give me Aaron Rodgers at that price this week. Scary enough, discounted pizza. Pizza's always good. Running back Jonathan Taylor, $7,400 in DraftKings, $8,400 in FanDuel. RB spot, like most weeks, will be really important, but there's a lot that goes into the Week 17 RB situation. A lot of them are in good spots. Henry, Kamara, Montgomery, Austin Eckler, all could have fantastic weeks, but I am going with Jonathan Taylor, even though there's an argument to be made for a plethora of them. I think Taylor's coming in at a discount. The Colts are in a must-win situation. The Jaguars have given up the 5th most fantasy points to running backs this year. Take Taylor over the lead. Taylor has taken over the lead role and absolutely dominated. At least 16 opportunities a game in the last 4 weeks. I expect potentially an even bigger number in this one. Malcolm Brown, $4,300 on DraftKings, $5,600 in FanDuel. Usually playing around running back could lead to a multitude of headaches on a Sunday because you never know what McVay is going to do. However, Brown is the last man standing as it pertains to the Rams right now. Akers and Henderson out with injury. Brown's getting the touches. They're also going to be playing with a backup QB, so they'll probably need to lean on that running game, hopefully a little more. At his price, it's an almost must play. Their expected volume plus the price tag, I can't shy away. 4,300 on DraftKings, 5,600 on FanDuel for Malcolm Brown. Devontae Adams. Adams and Rodgers have just been insane. Devontae, more specifically, has been incredible. You are paying the piper for it at $9,200 on DraftKings, $9,300 on FanDuel, but it doesn't even matter. I'm pairing Rodgers and Adams together, and I'm going from there. There are only 3 games he's played this year where he hasn't gotten double-digit targets, and those 2 games he had 9 targets. Nothing's changing this week. I will pay the premium for this top-shelf pizza. As mentioned, Rodgers and him are doing whatever they want. I don't expect that to change Sunday, even if you want me to respect the Bear matchup. Corey Davis, 6,200 in DraftKings, 7,200 in FanDuel, friends. Corey's really come on recently. I really like parts of this Titans game, as I mentioned earlier. It's the highest total on the slate and a lot of pieces that you could stack from here. I am going to go with Davis. You can make the same case for A.J. Brown clearly, but Davis is $1,000 cheaper and likely to be more likely to be less known because of his dud in last week's game against the Packers. However, he did play 82% of those Packers snaps, and I think that could be a big bounce back spot. Texans defense is bad. They just lost to the Bengals. Corners are down. The unit looks shot. This is going to be a shootout. I mentioned I like Houston maybe to pull an upset to keep it close. It's going to be a shootout. Tennessee's going to get theirs on the air on the ground. That's just how it's going to work, but I'm going to have quite a few pieces from this one in my lineup. Tight end, Noah Fant, 4,400 on DraftKings, 57 and FanDuel. Fant has had a quality amount of targets in the last 3 games. These may be box score chasing, but at tight end, it feels like you do whatever you got to do unless you're playing one of the big 2. He has 7, 11, 9 targets in the last 3 games, and this is a Raiders team that can be picked on. The type of targets at tight end is massive, especially in a slate where Kelsey is not likely to play. Not a lot of good pay down options, in my opinion. I really like Noah Fant this week. He'll take advantage of the Raiders. No way the Dolphins' passing game simply couldn't. Big game for Fant. Big game for Jack Doyle, I'm expecting. $3K on DK, $4,500 on FanDuel. If I'm going to punt at tight end, it's going to be someone I like, and that certainly is Jack Doyle. The Colts need the win. Jags give up the 4th most fantasy points to tight end. Doyle coming off a 6-target game. Maybe we could squeak out an end zone here. After Doyle, it really isn't anyone I like lower. I'm not expecting Hunter Henry to play. I know Parham got a lot of hype last week. Maybe people want to go back to that. Well, he'll probably be okay, but slim pickings here, friends. Defense, special teams. Give me the Giants. Give me the Giants. 2,700 on DK. I like the Giants defense this week. The Giants pressure at the 4th highest rate in the NFL. If you can get pressure on Dalton, which they can, the Cowboys O-line is banged up. He will take the sacks. He also isn't afraid to throw those interceptions. Pressure leads to turnovers, leads to fumbles, leads to sacks, leads to the fun stuff that can happen after those that we're so dependent on for a big cash. I'm not going to force any defenses into my lineup this week because I do like a lot of other pieces, but I do like the Giants this week as a bit of a save. I was on them +3 earlier in the week. I'm seeing that game down to around +1. If you're asking me who's going to the playoffs in that division, it's going to be the New York Football Giants. Crazy enough, I'm Geoff Fienberg. Happy New Year, friends. Like, sub, comment. Do me all those favors. I appreciate you. All the best to you and yours. We'll be back killing it. Some golf, some wild card weekend. Have a great one, friends.